representing Europe, Sergio Garcia.
Each team can expect it is the veteran Garcia. Excellent record in foursomes, who is going to get this 43rd Ryder Cup underway. Shortish par 4 to open up.
Yeah, he's gone with the big one. I guess that's probably the easiest one to hit.
Certainly not the easiest of tee shots. Forget the circumstances. You can see the sun in his face. But he's probably, in the last 2 decades, the best driver of the golf ball in the world.
Yeah, you just watch the face of these guys. I mean, they never look this nervous when they tee off, but they do in this.
Yeah, we're going to see a lot of those bunkers. It's going to be treacherous if you start hitting there.
Now on the tee, representing the United States of America, Justin Thomas.
Thomas, I think there's a lot of pressure on the Americans because of the crowd being so one-sided and home team.
Yeah, I think there is, but I think they have a team of youngsters that don't have any baggage. So I think they're in a very good place to actually do well this week. I think this is their big leader. The guy hitting now, I think, is the one that he had such a great Ryder Cup in Paris. He knows what it's all about. He needs to get out there and lead from the front.
The referee for this match is Mark Wilson. Good luck.
Probably just looking past the pin.
And that'll do nicely. It is alternate shot, so it's Jon Rahm to play.
From where he was, that wasn't a bad shot.
This one up and over the slope for Garcia. Good lie. Ball back in his feet, just trying to drift it over the slope.
How good is this? Oh.
Can you imagine if that would have gone in? It looked like it was going in for a long time. I'm like, oh, wow. Okay, this is going to really get things going. Good shot, though.
More important to get the crowd really going. Should be right to left. He's been lucky the shadow is behind him, so doesn't have to deal with that, Thomas. Great chance from about 10 feet or so.
That did not look like a very good stroke to me. I mean, that was too firm and pushed out to the right, Thomas.
Just a little bit more thought than there is normally going into these. Hands are still shaking. Keep your head down.
No problem at all. Right in the middle for Jon Rahm, so that secures the par, picks up the marker.
Never seen so many people. Atmosphere is just incredible. Very respectful, though. It's been a great start already. Needs to find the fairway.
Come on, Wayne, hold it a little bit.
Let's go, Jordan! Go, Jordan! Go, Jordan!
Just nestles down a little bit, that one from Jon Rahm. Should be okay.
It's a big course this week. Every driver pretty much everywhere. There's 1 or 2 3-woods, maybe a hybrid or 2, but early starts. It's driver, it's cold. It's probably only 7 or 8 degrees max out here. So they won't be getting much more than 300 early doors. Very straight second tee shot.
Yeah, good drive.
Certainly not as breezy as it's been over the first, or the last couple of days, I should say, here at Whistling Straits. Spieth finds the fairway. Thomas and Spieth in the fairway. Rahm and Garcia in the rough. It's the Americans to go first.
Yeah, 272. He's having a pop at this front pin. He can certainly get there. Just a fraction of a downslope. This will come out pretty low and hot.
Keep going. It's way short, but it's all right. Keep hooking.
Not really way short, but and he's in good position, pitching straight up the hill, to giving that to one of the best pitchers in the business.
Just go digging just a fraction with this one. From 268, if you can get it out straight, it should run a good 30 or 40, and you might just creep on the front. But as we've heard, there's so many bunkers around these greens, really you're never going to get a flat stance.
I must say I didn't like that shot choice there. It wasn't a great lie. It's dewy. The grass is wet. It was sitting down as we saw. Wasn't going to get to the green. Why not take a club, put it in the fairway, and set your partner up for a pitch shot?
A tricky shot, but a good lie, as I say. Just needs to get some height on it and get some control.
Spieth.
Tricky one. Just trying to nudge it up and over the slope. Always difficult when there's so much fringe to play with. That wasn't easy. It looked easy, but it wasn't that easy. A much easier shot across the green for Garcia. A little bit of tension, I thought, in Spieth's chip. The fringes are really tight, but it wasn't that difficult to get him up to the pin. This is much easier, right to left, pretty much all the way for the Spaniard.
That's really good touch off of wet grass. Had to go over a fair amount of fringe.
Oh, they're going to go up in 2 matches. Thomas.
Yeah, massive putt, Dom, really. Just quite an easy up and down overall, really. Pretty simple putt across the slope. It's a must make for momentum.
And he does make it. So the United States are up in the first 2 games of these foursomes encounters.
He's just going to try and draw this off the number 3 there.
You're gonna like that, though.
Looking good.
Anybody heard it? You're going to like that, John, he said, as if it was in the air.
What a view, but he won't be worried about this one. Down the hill, left or right. Greens are quite dewy, so I don't think it's that quick, because they are pretty quick this week.
He's an excellent putter, isn't he, Jordan Spieth, especially from that sort of range.
This is very makeable with the sunshine behind him, so nothing really against him here, just a fraction down the hill.
And just nowhere else from Jon Rahm. Excellent. That's the way you want to start your putting of a Ryder Cup. You know, Porter's the type of guy that this is what he has been looking forward to. He probably is not as detailed about his captaincy early on, but he wants to be there in the week and be, you know, in with the players and out on the golf course. That's his strength. That's always been his strength as a vice captain as well. He was good in the week. Maybe not so much in the lead up to it. He was not as engaging and involved. So
gives you an idea of the routing of the first 4 holes. Then you turn the corner and start coming back. Justin Thomas at the 4th hole.
A reasonable tee shot there for Spieth. The Americans did well to get to this position out of a poor tee shot. This is a slow putt up the hill and looking pretty good.
To Jon Rahm in the opening game. Outside chance of winning this hole. Oh my word.
Rahm has held 3 putts. Let's not forget the nice par putt that he made early on. And wow, that is really good. And these two guys, I know Spieth and Thomas are great friends, and the Americans look at Spieth and Thomas as being unbeatable, but I don't see anyone beating the Spaniards.
Special players do special things, and Jon Rahm has just done that. Well, the Europeans are safely in the 5th fairway. Here's Justin Thomas. 2 par 5s in pretty quick succession. The 2nd and the 5th.
Off the upslope for Jon Rahm. A really small looking green, looking right.
And that is in the penalty area, I'm afraid, for Jon Rahm. Well, the US didn't find the water at the 5th off the tee, so Julian Spieth just pops it back in the fairway. And remember, with Europe in the water there, that's advantage to the Americans. 3rd shot for the United States at the 5th.
It doesn't need to do an awful lot. They've managed, the Europeans have dropped it a long way back, so he'll be looking right at this very small target here at 5. Just gone a little bit flat all of a sudden for the Europeans, considering Jon Rahm's spectacular couple of putts on the last 2 greens. So this really needs to go in to have any chance.
Yeah, pretty much must make. Not this time for Rahm.
I'm a bit surprised they don't give him this and get on with it.
Spieth.
Tricky little par 4 up the hill and then down the right where the green is. It's a treacherous green. Spieth just going with a hybrid, laying up.
Go! Get in that next bunker.
Begging
Should
for
get
help.
line of sight there, JT. Gosh darn it.
Just taming aim just right at that little bunker you see in the fairway. That's where he's going.
Yeah, good swing there, bud.
He's got lucky here. This isn't that difficult considering.
Well, it's a beautiful golf shot from Justin Thomas. It really is. When you see a bigger view of this green, it's really tiny in two different places, two different greens really. There's just a tiny little gap in the middle of the green where you walk across.
Yeah, and a teasing little pin position today, Anthony.
Yeah, it was a truly remarkable shot, but he was coming actually more up the greens. He was always had a bank behind the greens to spin off if he needed it, which from the fairway for Garcia, he doesn't have that luxury. Clearly a far easier golf shot off the grass coming across the green using the contours from 106. But this is a really nasty green, as you guys are saying, so a lot of pressure on this shot. Wind is just starting to pick up a fraction off the left. So just trying to just drift this one and maybe spin it across the green a fraction.
Just to go around the bush to get a good look at it.
Yeah, pretty good.
Jordan Spieth for the birdie putt at the 6th. Maybe so slightly tentative by his standards. He's such an excellent putter, especially from that sort of 20-foot range. So a chance for the Europeans.
I like a lot of things about this pairing, but the one thing that I fear a little bit about it in foursomes is that Jon's such an aggressive putter, and Sergio is the opposite because he's not the best from 3 and 4 feet, so he likes lagging them up to hole, and you cannot leave Sergio with too many of these. It puts so much stress on his game.
That's textbook.
Gorgeous shot in, very makeable birdie putt to come. And the response now from Sergio Garcia. And what a response it is.
Put the pressure on.
Come on, John.
And Europe make it first.
Everything changes a little bit there. Great putt from Jon Rahm, and now all of a sudden you hand over. Can you match it? Beautiful putt.
Huge moment once more. Almost like a 2-hole swing if he misses this.
Can you believe it? Well, here's a good indication of how a lot of the holes, par 4s, are here at Whistling Straits along the water. You're kind of hitting into the land, up the hill, and then once you're up the hill, you're hitting back out towards the water, down towards the green.
Cut it over the course. It's on the scoreboard in the distance.
So you see that hospitality unit on the right-hand side all the way up. That's the line of the green, but he's going towards the other hospitality units to find the fairway and then come back towards, down towards the other hospitality unit for the green.
God dang it.
Both sets of players a little too far left.
Europeans have a much more clean lie, so no question advantage to those. Now, just really off the downslope, he's just going to try and curl the face in towards the ball and just try and hold it up. I don't believe he can actually play the slope from too much of an angle. It's just going to go right on him. So he needs to try and hold this one up a little bit from right to left to control that ball flight.
He's done well there.
I think this game is delivering what we expected. Shot making.
We zoom in now on the 9th tee. Garcia, driver in hand.
He's been playing really, really well in practice, Sergio.
So up ahead at the 9th will be Spieth to play first. Anthony's down there.
And just on the downslope a fraction, Ali. Got a clear line to the green, 152 for Spieth. So we can go at this, just try and drift it in from left to right.
Beautiful golf shot. And there's going to be a lot of noise down there, but not because you have the 9th green there and all the stands on the left, but then behind it is the 18th green with the big grandstand for the 18th hole that you see there on the right, and the 18th green behind on the right there. There's going to be some noise when you come down in this valley that hosts the 9th and the 18th green.
Well, you got the right man. 149, Jon Rahm on fire. And Zach Johnson has just arrived to watch this group. Clearly slightly concerned, the Americans. He'll be looking straight at this nice flat level stance.
They too find the back third of the green, the one that looks smaller than most of the others at the Straits complex.
Just nestled under the hills here, so no wind involved. Outside chance.
Really good effort from Garcia.
Justin Thomas to win the hole now at 9. That one just misses on the low side, so the margin stays 2 in favour of Europe.
First look at the 10th hole here. Jon Rahm with the driver. He's picked up, and we know where that is. Beautiful. Just exactly where you want to put it.
Certainly didn't hold back on that one. Jordan Spieth on 10. Also somewhere down the right-hand side there on 10. Give yourself a good angle for that green. Obviously not carrying the ball as far as Jon Rahm.
Up to Justin Thomas at 10.
And gesturing, he's going to lob this all the way, Thomas. 58, Ali. It's a good sort of probably 2 or 3 yards underneath the level of the green, so difficult to really judge this one so close. I have a feeling he's going to try and pitch this most of the way. A completely different shot to Sergio coming up off the flat, level with the green.
Oh, it was the right shot. It just didn't hit it hard enough.
Yeah, you just heard the comment from Justin Thomas. That was almost perfect.
So up ahead to Garcia at 10.
45, much simpler. Trying to skip it up off the downslope.
Isn't he good at those? I mean, that's absolutely tracking.
Rahm with another putt. I mean, this is I'm surprised they're not giving him this, really.
To go 3 up after the Americans missed their birdie opportunity.
This is the second time Spieth and Thomas. One was for Garcia, now Rahm. I think those putts were both, in the gimme range.
Driver for Garcia.
Also a hole that played very different yesterday. The guys would have come in with something very long into the green. This will be just a snack, like Jay just said, if you find a fairway.
Teed this one nice and low down there, Anthony, with driver.
Yeah, we looked at it earlier in the week, Ali, didn't we? Using the slope from left to right, using the breeze. With these benign conditions, you're almost carrying the hill here at 11. Thousands behind this tee. Crowd can sense this is a key match. Here's already well down the fairway.
RBC tell us the wind about 9 or 10 miles per hour off the left.
Right there.
Second shot for Spieth at 11.
From a good line, that's a brilliant shot. It's a very tough second shot. Hang on. This is the green that has the big slope. The fringe should stop it, and it did.
I can't believe that shot.
Yeah, absolutely, Nico. That was a high quality shot. Very easy to run that back off the green, some 20 or 30 yards. Now Jon Rahm, just about the perfect spot. Just a gap wedge, a little bit of helping breeze. He's looking long left. This should spin back down the green. Just starting to turn the screw a little bit. The pressure's on for the Americans. Can he really take advantage after a perfect tee shot?
It was right on the plane.
That's okay.
He knew it was in if he hit it.
It almost feels like Garcia was waiting for a teammate to be able to talk Spanish in this Ryder Cup. I mean, he's played with Rafa Cabrera Bello. All you hear is Spanish all day, so they'll do exactly the same thing with Jon Rahm. I like the way they've been going about their business this morning. You can see the way they look at each other, they smile at each other, they're having fun, and they take their responsibility in that first group today.
Huge putt here for Justin Thomas. They need something, a big putt to try and turn the tide, and they're starting to run out of holes at 3 down. They're not going to make them coming up short, and that is not a gimme.
Europeans giving nothing away, playing pure match play. Just fraction up the hill.
Catches the right edge, so the hole is tied. Rahm and Garcia remain 3 up. You like this one too, Anthony?
Yeah, this is a cracker, isn't it? 142, so some sort of gap wedge, maybe just a little poke with a wedge. Just got to hit the shot. There's a number of these on this back 9. Just need to be spot on with this.
Unfortunately, part of the green is so narrow, there's no bailout, there's no safe side.
And he's found it. Jon Rahm. That slither of hope has become quite a large one now. Great look from overhead.
Yeah, these are great views on par 3s. And that's just perfect execution. Didn't mess with that left.
It looks so different from right overhead as well. You can't see the slope that drags it down to the left all sorts of ways.
Now just a wedge shot here, a little 3/4 wedge shot at most for Spieth. These guys are going to have to maybe leave their comfort zone and start pressing, which is oftentimes how you make more mistakes. But the Spaniards are forcing them into pressing at this point. Great shot by Spieth.
Sergio on the par 3 for birdie. Who leaves an open door.
And a much easier putt than the Europeans. A little bit of grain in play here. Obviously not part of green is used very often, but a very makeable putt nevertheless.
Europe miss low, the US miss high. And that hole is halved in threes.
Garcia with a bit of a thin tee shot here at 13.
I don't think I've ever seen Garcia hit a shot like that, actually.
I'm not sure it was intentional either.
Right over that bunker, Jimmy.
Garcia was going with the 3-wood. Thomas with the big stick. It's a pretty aggressive play at 13.
You can see that grip choke down a little bit, teeing the ball a little bit lower than usual, and a low ball flight. Moving left to right to marry the way that that fairway is sloping. Gets the bounce, sends it a long way down there.
I like the play. Garcia just, yes, he duffed his 3-wood a fraction, but playing first, playing with the form player, going into the green, 123. Try and add some pressure to this game. I do believe this hole will be won with a 3. Just the perfect pitch in down the hill to a pretty simple pin, looking maybe just left of this.
Come on, spin back. Yeah, pretty shot there.
Next, Jordan Spieth up at 13.
You could have expected that, something low, driven into a hole that's somehow 20 paces onto this green below you. This might become a spicy game if America comes back a bit more in it. First game is always very, very important. What a view this is. What a shot that is with the backdrop as well. Beautiful.
Looking well as a team, these two. Jon Rahm has definitely come in a number of times into Garcia to maybe just give a piece of advice or just to calm him down, because he hasn't looked that comfortable on the greens, unlike Rahm. He's been awesome this morning. I think he's going to need this one for a birdie 3.
But moved a lot for Garcia. You could tell in the preparation of this putt that they knew the importance of this. To stay 3 up. What about 5-6 holes to go?
Yeah, you do need to keep seeing that blue on the board. If you're a European right now, there's not much of it further down, especially with the lead of Johnson and Morikawa being extended after back-to-back birdies. So now a putt to win the hole for Justin Thomas.
Yeah, after the great chance at 12, I'll be amazed if this one doesn't drop much easier, maybe just a little bit off his left, but really not a great deal in this. Garcia's moved a little bit more than we all thought. Just give it a little bit extra, should not be a problem.
Well, that was a must make, really, in this circumstance. You wouldn't want to go to the 14th tee 3 down. It's still a pretty big effort against 2 great players.
Spieth, and driver for him. Really sharp angle down at the dog leg left, around about 75 degrees once you get to the corner. Safely finds the flat right section.
Important here to put this in the fairway. You don't want to give the Americans an open door at this point. Got a 2-up lead. And a good shot from Rahm.
Yeah, both slap bang in the middle of the fairway. Really easy pin to go at this one. 113 for Garcia. It's the same number he had at 5 where he missed it. A good 20 feet right. So I do wonder whether it's in between his gap wedges and his sand iron. But again, another pin that's got 3 written all over it. So this needs to get in close to really hold the Americans down. Pivotal moments on these short par 4s.
Dances its way off the green at the front edge for Garcia.
We got 112. 112 is where you said you want to land it. We got 110 hole? Yeah.
BMW tell us that they've won 3 of 4 of the par 4s when Rahm tees off on 4, 8 and 10.
15. I don't like that. Yeah, I like it.
It's generally been a good omen for them on the even holes.
2 ways of playing this. You can pitch it past and try and judge the spin, or just dead hand it and just lob it in just front left of it. Try and take the spin off it. All depends how comfortable he is with his number. Pretty simple, really. Wind not really a factor now.
Yeah, good shot from Justin Thomas.
I think this is maybe just a step too far for Jon Rahm, but you never know. Cometh the man. It's a pretty slow one back up the hill.
Looked like the putter got stuck almost a little bit there on the fringe.
They've held nothing really to this point. He is due one. And this is pretty simple.
Have a look at this one coming back. Never in doubt. Never in doubt.
So the Europeans remain 2 up, just 4 holes to go in that top match. A tough closing stretch here, isn't it? You've got a couple of big par 4s in 15 and 18. You've got the interesting 17th, the par 3.
Oh yeah, JT! Let's go!
Garcia's response.
Lean back a little bit on that one on 15, Sergio. And the result stays the same.
Oh, it's just fallen into an old divot there.
207, Don. Cannot believe how far Sergio has hit his drive. He's done him by a good 40. They all could not believe it. So pressure on the Americans. He needs to find a putting surface.
Hit it, Win.
Some right to left breeze. The RBC wind graphics. And Spieth using the contours to great effect. Look at this one. They know the significance of this, don't they? If they win this hole, 3 up, 3 to play.
Yeah, I mean, the Americans have had their chances. They really haven't held a putt. And this has been the difference. This man, he's hit some great irons and he's holed 3 or 4 cracking putts. But he needs one here, no question.
Oh, no way.
Turn.
That is actually very close, of being just as close as Spieth's shot here. You could see trying to hold the ball and the club face against the wind.
Pressure's on. The crowds are huge. They've just doubled around this green. This is such an important game.
Hello, Sergio Garcia. Look at him. I was just thinking, you're going to get into the moment of this game now where a few putts needs to be held to make sure you keep that advantage, and it's just what Sergio just did. Absolutely wonderful.
And the hole has just shrunk a little bit for Justin Thomas.
Well, he hasn't really holed that many, and this is a beautiful putt. It's down the hill, it's quick. Just perfect pace. Look at that. He does that time and again in the Ryder Cup for some reason. It's a shame they're not the same age, these two, so that we could have them for about 20 years playing together.
Well, you never know. He may carry on for another 20 years, Garcia.
He might.
He does love the Ryder Cup cauldron, no doubt about it. So, all of a sudden, a little bit of pressure here on Justin Thomas. Anything on it, Anthony?
Very little, Dom. Easy wouldn't be a word I would use at this stage, though, would you?
No.
Sergio does have a habit, doesn't he? Just dropped it in the front door. This should go in with a bit of pace, I think.
Another one slides by for Justin Thomas and Jordan Spieth, and that means that Europe are 3 up in that bottom match with 3 holes to play. Up to the 16th, the par 5.
Good lie for Sergio Garcia, just in the first cut, 264 to the front pin, just the perfect time to play a par 5 at this stage.
That's a funny one. It's the second one we've seen from Garcia like that today. A very low left to right, thin, whatever you want to call this, but it wasn't pretty.
244 off, beautiful upslope. This sets up perfectly for a fairway wood. Looking to flight this all the way, no problem whatsoever. A little bit of breeze maybe just off his right. So a good chance here.
That's a really good shot from Justin Thomas.
Just needs a little bit of control.
You could tell there he was maybe hoping for a bit of a hop up from that fairway fringe.
Jordan Spieth for eagle to win the hole.
You can see he really wanted that one, didn't he?
This is a fairly easy putt for Justin Thomas. There you go. One goes in. But 2 down with 2 to go.
Where's this going to finish? Where is this going to finish? Down over the sleepers.
Yeah, that's not good.
We were looking at that mound on the right-hand side of the green the other day, walking the course with Thomas, and we didn't like the look of that mound on the right. I didn't expect this to finish this far left, though, but it could have bounced anywhere.
Now you got to, you know, the greens are fairly soft, and with the quality of these iron play of these guys, you got to fly this in over that mount. You can never allow that mount to be okay. I mean, you can mishit it and hit the mount, but if you're hitting a good strike, it's got to fly in over it and land in the green. You cannot take that mount in. The ball can go anywhere off it.
And that's the danger of trying to cut one up there. Maybe just ballooned it a fraction and cost him maybe half a club. Now Garcia, he'll be looking down the right, pigeon pin height. Much more comfortable shot for him.
Also starting right.
This one should just really just tickle all the way down towards the hole. No heroics needed.
An outside chance to slam the door shut here.
Ooh, that is by a little bit.
It really is a shot to nothing. We know he's a magician, but this will take every inch of his talent. Because it's so easy when you're hitting into a bank like this, you just almost flinch. Just needs to keep his balance. He's a good 8 feet below the level.
Unbelievable from Jordan Spieth.
He almost went in the lake.
Yeah, I mean, he had to run to keep his balance. It's a good 50, 60 feet over some uneven ground. There's lucky he didn't hurt himself, but right now, I mean, we're going to have to look at this again. I mean, this is a fabulous shot. I mean, he starts falling away before impact, his upper body.
Where is there anyone that could fall to? Look at this.
He's a 1 in a million player. That was a 1 in a million shot.
He did well to miss the bunkers. Excellent from Jordan Spieth. He always entertains, that's for sure.
Now they make that. They're going to putt. The Americans are going to putt first. If they make that for par, that makes Rahm's putt to win the match a lot more difficult.
Jon Rahm just went in there and gave Jordan Spieth a fist pump. Class recognises class, without doubt. Anthony?
I'm still stunned. That was he had the lie, but well, that was absolutely incredible just to judge it. I don't think he could have actually hit it any harder or any further. He fell backwards completely. Now this will definitely move to his right. It's got to be the up and down of the year, isn't it?
Yeah, I think Sergio Garcia is having a little bit of few extra thoughts about what's happening right now. You know, walking around, it's taking a good bit of time here as well, and he might have thought he didn't have to putt this one, and now most likely have to, and have to hold it.
So this to get the 3 in first.
After all the work, he's going to concede the match, as he should. Right there. Very disappointing that Spieth shot was in vain right there, but a great win for the Spaniards, and much needed the way the rest of the scoreboard looks at the moment.
It is a margin in favour of Europe of 3-1 around of 17 holes that included 6 birdies for the Europeans. They came out swinging.
26.5 points for Sergio Garcia in the Ryder Cup, and at this moment in time he's got more than the whole US Ryder Cup team has together.
To watch another Ryder Cup video, click here and subscribe here.